Well, I was born in the Philippines, and I grew up there in the Metro Manila area. I grew up on a university campus.
Okay.
And art was not really considered like a valid career at that time. So I thought I would take architecture, which is kind of like art and science. But then I messed that up, so I had to go to another course, and I chose physics because I had an aptitude for it. Came here to the U.S. to supposedly to get my PhD, but while I was getting my master's, I realized that I was more interested in art. In the Philippines, I started showing in 1998, and we left in 2001. But I pretty soon got a following because the art world is kind of small, and there are a lot of buyers, and a lot of the buyers aren't necessarily rich people. Like there are a lot of middle class people who like to buy art as opposed to maybe a new TV or what. They'll buy a nice painting for the house. So the market there is pretty good. Like there were times when I sold like 65 paintings in 1 year.
Wow, that's a
so
lot.
That was good. And then I was kind of a up and coming, successful emerging artist, and when we moved here. It's hard to sustain though when you're not in the country, so after a while it kind of leveled off. Oh, I was so happy. I mean, I always thought it would be this insurmountable thing to get a show. And so while I was still teaching physics, I was painting, at night, and painting, and then I built up this body of work. And then I was talking to like an old high school friend of mine, and she said, my husband, knows some people in the art world, and I think he can set you up with a couple of appointments. And he did, and one of them didn't pan out, but the other one did. And so my first show was actually at this very eclectic open gallery called West Gallery. They are very supportive of new artists, and they're still going strong.
Where is that?
It's in Quezon City. It's also in the Manila area.
Okay. Oh.
I don't really feel like I chose it. Like, I feel like it just came out. I always wanted to do landscape painting. And so in the beginning, it's sort of landscapey, A lot of my paintings seem to have a horizon line, maybe some elements of landscape, but while I was in art school, it just sort of came out, it's not what I wanted,
It like chose you basically, kind of?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I wish. Sometimes I wish I wanted to do realism,
Okay. Yeah.
Because sometimes I think that's more accessible to more people. This was quite a departure from my work, a lot of my previous work. My previous work was very structured and geometric and textured, and a lot of repetition of lines, a lot of squares, and very, very layered. I could probably layer and layer until finally I thought, oh, okay. But these were more gestural and spontaneous and emotional, and almost like a release of something. Not sure what, or maybe I'm not telling. Could be anger. Could be, I don't know. It's up to you what you want to see.
That's true too.
Yeah, so it's really different, and I feel like I don't know if it's less accessible. It seems to be. On the other hand, I'm using more color now than I did before. I was always using more neutrals before with the geometric things. I've always wanted to be more spontaneous, and now I sort of want to combine the two, like structured and spontaneous. It almost seems to me that I work really well when I'm upset or discontented. You know, if I'm really happy and everything's going well, it's like I don't really have anything to, you know, release. Not that much motivation. I have this tendency to try to avoid working in the studio. Like, I'll wash dishes, I'll do the laundry, you know what I mean? But then recently I had like a really bad day. I just couldn't figure it out. I was having such a bad day. And then all of a sudden I just went to the canvas and painted. And then after that I felt good. I had a moon period too.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, I just like the moon. I wish I could paint the moon again, but so far I haven't had that urge. That was actually done in New Hampshire too. Like,
Really?
the first time we moved, we lived in New Hampshire. I lived in Newmarket. I did a series of moon paintings there.